Today on the DNVR Pregame Show, Julian Lewis plays football in 27 hours. What to expect from him, what to expect from these Buffs, and what it means for the future. Let's get it. Let's go.
You Squad Pod.
We're back, baby. Welcome into the DNVR Pregame Show presented by our friends over at Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR and Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use that promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. You'll get $20 off your first purchase. We're back. Final home game of the season, but Julian Lewis's first start at home ever in college football.
First ever start at Folsom. We got people hitting me up being like, I got to be there, right? Like this could end up being like a important part of the legend,
the genesis.
Yes,
for real.
Exactly. And that excites me, man. It's crazy to say this, but there have been too many last home games at Folsom Field where there was just nothing.
I believe it.
Like the amount of, and every year the last game at Folsom makes me sad. And I try to like soak up the last moments you're going to be in there for a long time. But there have been a lot of them where it's just like, that's the only reason you're there. And I have a little bit of perspective on the fact of like, this is exciting. Like there's a real reason to go to Folsom tomorrow and see what's going to happen and see what Julian Lewis can bring to the table.
Hell yeah.
A year ago today, Julian Lewis committed to the Colorado football team. And tomorrow he makes his first home start for the Buffs. Isn't that crazy?
Man, that is Scotty. Your pockets are running deep early in this show.
You feel me?
And then you got Shador's first start lining up too.
Yeah. Shador right behind it. It's going to be a hell of a weekend for Buff Nation, I believe.
Could all be perfect timing.
It could
be.
well be.
I guess we'll just start with Julian. I mean, obviously it's a big step up for him, officially being named the starting quarterback, running into this spot for start at home. Just, Coach Prime kind of talked about it, the last 2 weeks in his pressers about what he's seen from Julian. What have you seen from Julian in particular in his growth the last 2 weeks?
Well, I want to rewind it back a little bit more than 2 weeks ago. There's certainly been an accelerant, the past 2 weeks. But I'm going to go back to maybe a week or two post-Houston. And I've certainly seen more attention to detail, more not just leadership promise, but leadership in action. And then when that culminated with him actually getting the proverbial keys that Shador handed to him a year ago during the photo ops, you could just see the growth and maturity there. And I would dare say this, Jake, if some of the growth that has taken place, say the last 5 weeks, had taken place the last 5 weeks of the summer, you probably see Juju in the Houston game, and that's when he would have took over for the rest of the season. But he had some freshman growth to go through, and he did it with flying colors. And by the time it was where Coach Prime termed it as common sense to go with him, he was actually reaching that zenith of preparation as well. So, in the words of Shador, perfect timing.
I think Ben told just a A++ 10 out of 10 story this week about Juju, and back in the spring, You know, Ben said that he used to give each quarterback their own depth chart in terms of how hard they're working, in terms of his perspective at least. And he said he always used to put Juju last, and Juju hated it, at least at the beginning. But it came to a point where, you know, according to Ben, that Juju appreciated the fact that Ben was on him to come out of his shell a little bit more and be the leader that he needs to be to play the quarterback position. Have you just kind of seen that from guys outside of Ben, just the team try to rally around and get this young man to become, again, the leader, the face of the program that they all kind of need him to be?
In different ways. There's only one Ben, right? Like
Facts.
there's only one guy that's going to do it like Ben that
Yeah.
either makes you want to hug him or slap him. So, I'll say to Ben's point, I saw the same thing. What I think happened was, you know, a brilliant kid coming out of high school and is everything everybody told him he was, but he felt the need to show deference to the senior guys. And that it was K Salt's job, and I'm cool with that. My time is in the future. Let me lay back in the cut and learn all I can and just be the quiet guy in the room instead of putting the accelerator down and trying to take the position.
Yeah.
You know, he was just comfortable saying, let me chill for a year and learn everything, and it's mine next year. Well, that's July and August, and you had no idea in July and August the way the season was going to fold. But I think about midway through the season, you know, he saw like, okay, I got something to offer now. You know, let me stop being the quiet guy in the room. I was telling some folks the other day that probably a month ago, I don't know how many people on the team even knew Juju's voice. You know, if he was just to call you on the phone, you're like, oh, this is Juju, because he wasn't that a vocal guy in the locker room, in the team meeting room, or what have you. But since taking this position, you really see the guy who was all that in the bag of chips in Georgia football. You know, he's coming out of that freshman shell and ready to lead the team. So, you know, to Ben and what he was doing off season, I'm sure everybody had something in their own kind of way, but
Yeah.
nobody's gonna press a button like Ben presses a button.
Facts.
Unc, we talked a lot about on this show kind of Juju injecting some energy and hope into the program. Have you seen that kind of like manifest itself in the team too, as they obviously aren't necessarily playing for a bowl game as at the end of the season here, but kind of playing to set up the future?
Absolutely, absolutely, I've seen it. And let me say this, guys. You just got to go with mathematical probabilities here. You put 100 people in the room, two games left, and Thanksgiving coming up. Yeah, somebody's checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's looking at the portal. Like that. That's just the reality of how organizations move. But what I've been impressed with is that by and large, the super majority of this team is not checked out. The younger guys have certainly not checked out. And shout out to Scotty Deep Pockets, who a couple of weeks ago said it's almost like this is a new season with 3 games in the season. And you see guys with that outlook like, okay, we can't change what happened weeks 1 through whatever, but we can change what people think of this team and what we even think of ourselves with these last 3. Go to West Virginia, don't win it, cool, get that, but you didn't leave that game not believing we didn't have a future. And so now you got a Folsom Field home game. You know, it's a Hall of Fame weekend. A lot of alums are back in town for that. What a perfect time to show out then at 6 p.m. with the freshman QB who's the heir apparent and show whether it is the boosters, the alum, your teammates, the recruits that are in town, whoever it may be, what the new look Colorado Buffs are going to be like next year. Because keep this in mind now, with no spring portal, once you get to that December portal, you're going to go into spring ball with your team this year, unlike past years.
Great point.
Great point.
Yep. I mean, you're going to know basically your entire team by like February, March this year, as opposed to waiting till, you know, June, July, like we were the last few years, which I don't know, man. I think it's about time. There's still a lot that needs to be done in terms of fixing the offseason. But anyways, Unc, I mean, Brett Bartolone also kind of in, you know, a different position as well. This will be his third play calling game for the Buffs. Just how have you seen, you know, Julian kind of, you know, that relationship with the play caller, with Brett, and trying to, you know, change what they can with this offense, you know, with another last home game here?
If I've had to pick a word, I say collaborative. You know, it's not just Brett trying to ramp something down the road. It's like what works situationally, what works for this quarterback. You know, let's put him in situations, that favor his abilities, that favor the way he sees the ball and scans the field. I think that the name of the game going into this game, and even to set the tone for the future, is the position that you put Ju Ju in on first down. You want to give the quarterback, particularly a younger quarterback, an advantageous second and third down, and that starts with first. You don't want to see him with second and 13 and third and 16 when you can have him at second and 4. And so what I'm looking for is what Brett and Ju Ju come up with.
Oh,
Well,
All
rest
right.
in peace.
well, I was about to tell Unc that he was sounding like a robot, but
That would sound like AI, wouldn't he?
yeah. Hopefully we'll get Unc back and have his audio issues fixed.
Decepticon is crazy. I mean, it does definitely sound like a transformer.
I like that word collaborative, though. That's the way it should be done,
Facts.
The way it should have been done.
and that's the way it has to be done. So, I mean, if it feels like two games that are meaningless, but there's a lot of meaning for those two particularly, and I think it's a good test, especially for Julian, of like, how can you bring those guys along? How can you, where it means so much to you, and obviously any of the other young guys who are playing out there, but like, can you lead the team to lock in like you are?
Yeah. What's up, Unc?
You got us, Unc?
Yeah, I don't know where it dropped off at, but it just crashed, man.
We are getting some crazy sound from your side, like it sounds like you're a robot.
Or a transformer. But yeah, I mean, this is a big game. Obviously, we talked about it a little bit this week for Brett Bartolone as he gets his feet wet as a play caller with this offense, with this personnel, with this young quarterback. And to me, I talked about it a lot yesterday. I wrote about it today in my preview on the DNVR.com. First down is where my eyes are going to be early on in this game, because as well as Ju Ju played in his first start a couple weeks ago in West Virginia, he was really put in some adverse situations.
It's crazy.
Again,
3rd and 11?
3rd and 11 on average, 11.8 yards on average on third down. It's hard to
It's hard to do
convert first downs. It's hard to win games. It's hard to put up points. It's hard to move the football when you're consistently put in those 3rd and long situations. So, again, Coach Prime, even yesterday, talking to Mark Johnson on the Coaches Show, he goes, remember my words, first down is vital this week. So that's a couple of days now this week where he has harped on the importance of first down, and it comes down to being creative, according to Coach Prime, and that obviously falls on Brett Bartolone. They're expecting run. You got to throw the ball out on first down, I think. If they're expecting, the pass on first down, you got to switch up. You got to keep their defense, Arizona State, on their toes defensively, particularly early in downs, because the Arizona State defense is good.
Yeah.
They're allowing the 3rd fewest points per game in the Big 12 this season, only about 22 points per game. So they're well coached. They do have some injuries, but they are a sound unit that is going to make Julian Lewis do some things maybe that he didn't do against West Virginia, because obviously they watch tape. They are the first team to have a full game's worth of tape on Julian Lewis at the college level, and they're going to be looking to exploit that. But I believe in Ju Ju. I believe in Bart to get this thing right. And as somebody mentioned, feed Hayden. The running game has to be a reason why this offense gets into 2nd and medium and 3rd and short, whether that is Dallin or Micah or Draylon or Cam or whomever. That has to be a big reason why this offense is efficient.
What does
tomorrow.
What does creativity look like to you on first down?
To me, it looks like doing what is not expected, right? I feel like a lot of times on first down, you can get into let's call our best run play here, or let's just get in a quick game here. Yeah. And that is a lot of time what defenses are expecting. And that's why I think a lot of times you got to go into your play action bag. You got to go into your deep passing bag on first down, maybe a reverse or something like that. Like, this is the time of the year. We haven't seen many trick plays. Like, we've seen a few this year, but like with 2 games left in the season, like, empty the tank. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I don't think you're worried too much about using plays that you might want to use next season. Like, empty the tank. And I think first down is the best way to do that in particular.
I like it.
Just be unpredictable.
Exactly right.
Just be unpredictable. Not
Exactly
just
right.
in run pass splits, but what side of the field you're doing, what formations you're coming out in, which personnel sets you're coming in, and use those things to your advantage as opposed to just trying to, well, they think we're going to run here, let's pass it type of thing.
I think that a lot of times offensive coordinators get into this rhythm of like, first down is for me to like prove I'm committed to something.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
okay, like first down, I'm committed to the run. But I think you're not actually committed to anything unless you do it on second down. And
It's valid.
a lot of times it's just like, okay, let me run this inside zone on first down. Now it's 2nd and 9, and we're going back to throwing it twice.
Right.
But
That's a good point.
I think that both of your points were good, and I just think that you have to get away from the like, okay, first down is my time to establish.
Right.
Like
Yes.
first down should. Kyle Shannon says that he calls a play to score a touchdown every time.
And that's what I was going to say, too,
Yeah.
because and Coach Prime mentioned it, too, this week, where he was like, we got to get 4 or 5 yards on first down. And I feel like a lot of play callers and coordinators think that way. We got to get 4 or 5 yards. But you call a play, typically, that gets you 4 or 5 yards instead of calling your
Call
best
plays to
play.
get
Call
more
a
first
touchdown
downs,
play.
yes.
Call a first down play.
Yes.
Like, call those type of plays on first downs to get you going. And then if you end up with 4 or 5, then you're still fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of the times coaches, no matter the level, no matter the team, no matter the play caller, call plays are like, all right, let's call a safe first down play to like get us going. And a lot of times defenses are expecting that safe play to get you going. And it goes for 0 yards or 1 yards, and you're on 2nd and long, 3rd and long, where you certainly don't want to be.
All right, let's take our first break. We got Unc back here as well, so we'll get right back to it in just a second. But shout out to our friends over at Game Time, man. The homies when it comes to getting the tickets for whatever it is going on in your city, not just sports games, but theater, concerts, whatever else could be going on. They got you covered. Last game for Folsom Field, man. If you want to come out and see the Buffs, Julian Lewis in his first home start, you got to head up our friends over at Game Time. And use the promo code BUFFS when you do that. But, of course, there's more basketball games, hockey games, all kinds of stuff coming up into the new year as well. Take the guesswork out of buying your tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Tap ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time. And thank you to our friends over at Bet365 for making this show possible. And I know I'm going to be on Bet365 heavy on Sunday.
Yeah.
Broncos bye week. I can lock in on the whole slate. And then we have Shador.
Yeah, we do.
And I can promise you I'm going to be building some SGPs just in case everything goes exactly the way I envisioned it in my head. Just in case. And over at Bet365, they have SGP Sundays, where it's never ordinary. You can place qualifying parlay bets totaling $20 on Sunday NFL games and get up to $25 in bonus bets. So more bullets in the chamber to just keep firing away and try and hit big. Shout out to our friends over at Bet365. It's never ordinary. And use the code DNVR365 when you sign up, and you're going to get $200, $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. So shout out to our friends over at Bet365.
All right. Unc, what's up?
I'm back.
Thank God.
There you go. You sound great, too.
Turn up.
Hey, I could overhear the conversation when I was in the green room, and man, you guys know ball. I love it. Because Scotty, I left off, and you guys were picking up about this success and creativity on first down, right? And I think mathematically, that's 3.5, 4 yards or better. You stay ahead of chains. Well, for me, I'm a lot like what y'all have in mind. I really don't care if it's 0 yards if it makes the defense rethink what they're going to do. If it makes them rethink what they're going to do on 2nd and 3rd because you actually grabbed your balls and you did something unexpected. So, like, whether it works or not is really not the consequence to me. Because you have a fumble and went forward and get a 4-yard gain. Just because it's a 4-yard gain don't mean it's a quote-unquote good play. What I want to see happen is exactly what you articulated, Scotty, is do something that is not in the football 101 book. Do something unexpected that's going to put them on their heels. Hopefully you do get 3, 4, 5 yards from it. But even if you just get 2, you've established an anti-rhythm to the defense that, wait, these guys are not playing. How many times you watch a boxing match and the first punch is always a jab?
Yes.
Mike Tyson didn't come out jabbing. Mike Tyson came out just swinging for the head. It's like, I want to knock you out
Yes.
early. And so
Facts.
I want to, that's how I define creativity in this situation, is just get away from the mundane. Hey, let's start the game with a run play. Do something they don't expect. Like, go at them, challenge them, make them rethink every first down the rest of the game.
100%. Well said. How many times do we hear defensive players after games be like, "What we saw on tape, that's what they did.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what was coming." And that typically, if a defensive player says that after the game, that means their defense probably dominated because they were prepared and they were expecting what the offense was going to do. And on the opposite side of that, when you hear either an offense or defensive player after a game, and we've heard even Colorado players sometimes after games this year say that, well, they just came out doing stuff that we hadn't really seen on film. And that typically is the words of somebody or of a team that didn't win. And that is exactly what we're talking about, right? The unpredictability. Make them think twice about flying downhill or, checking a route, so to speak, or whatnot. Like, that is what we got to see, particularly on first down. And I think Brett Bartolone has that in his bag, no doubt. I think we saw some glimpses of that in West Virginia.
And for me, man, probably more evidence than having it in the bag is in his DNA. It's in his makeup.
Exactly.
It's in his personality. It's who he is as a coach. Like, there's a placard on his desk that says PhD in attacking. Like,
Facts.
his mindset, is to take it to the defense, is to make them uncomfortable. Of course, that has to fit in the confines of the game plan, fit in the confines of the
Sure.
personnel. But from his just DNA makeup, that's how he's wired and built. So I would be surprised if we didn't see that.
And to your point, Unc, about seeing play calls and whether or not they're successful in terms of yardage on like first down, like there's a process in terms of like setting things up. Like you see it all the time late in games where you're like, how in the hell is that guy wide open?
Yep.
And they saw something early that set them up for that. We just haven't seen that at all from CU really this year. To see that, I mean, that's really just the play caller kind of just chalkboarding something up, really just seeing something, whether it's how they line up against a specific personnel set, formation, what coverage they run, and take advantage of that. I mean, you have that added into your game. That's another boon to help out Julian, and just it's easy offense too. I mean, those opportunities are there in every single football game.
Yep.
Every single game.
I think that this team that we're about to face, right? They're going to a bowl game. They got 7 wins. You can't derail that. Of course, a loss or next week loss hurts them tremendously, and being in Dallas, so you can have some impact on that. But when you look at just their style of play, their personnel, you kind of have to say, like, okay, like, I know they're favored. I get all that. I know their record is better than ours. I get all that. But man, we can beat this team. When you're looking at past 3 games, maybe even 4 games, the QB that's passing at less than 50%. I know he's got his leg thing going. To me, here we go again, 5 guys, broken record. Stop the run and run the ball your damn self, and you win the game.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works, isn't it? We just play the same game over and over again, and it's not even just stop the run; it's stop the quarterback run somehow every game this year. But on that note, like, obviously these coaches and these players are trying to get better at that. What have you seen from them just in terms of like the commitment to trying to find a way that they can better fit these quarterback runs?
Twofold, man. Not only just continuing to work on the fundamentals of tackling when you actually have the guy in reach, don't reach, go to him. Thudding at practice, working with the tackling dummies and the donuts at practice. You see that, but also see more when I look at, say, for instance, Coach Hart's room, working on eye discipline. We tend to follow a jet sweep all the way into the stands to the Peanut Man or something. It's like you gotta kind of lock in and be patient and don't overreact and react too soon, Scotty, because the quarterback in the formation is going to try to give you different looks to get you out of your gap, out of your assignment. And I think that has probably, it may be harder to spot on film than a missed tackle, but that has caused us just as many problems as missed tackles. It's just being out of alignment because we weren't disciplined and we were falling for the candy,
Over
for the
pursuing.
trickery, and then it just went the other way on us.
Yeah, over pursuing.
Facts.
Yep.
With that, Unc, I mean, the defensive line it's pretty beat up. I mean, it was another rough injury report yesterday as well. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's just like, I mean, you're beat up at that position. There's really no more solutions at that point. Guys just got to start playing better. Start, just really turning up the fire in the belly and just, saying, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to go whoop this guy's ass. Like at some point, that's really the only answer left. So, what have you seen from that group as you walk into another big time matchup where they have to step up?
Heart, and not heart as in Coach Hart, but heart as in HEART, because this is what it's going to take. Hey, man, y'all remember that iconic photo from George Washington's Continental Army where a guy's head wrapped and a guy's limping and one guy has a snare drum, but they're still marching the battle, but they're beat the hell up? Like, that's us. But guess what? You still got to go. No one's going to say, "Oh man, their injury report is looking bad again. Let's take it easy on them." That no one plays ball that way. You go to war with what you got. What we have is what we have, and so it's going to take heart and determination for those guys to say, "Not me. I'm going to make a tackle. I'm not going to blow an assignment. I'm going to be in the A gap or the B gap. I'm not going to get caught peeking." Those little things that have killed us, because we can't wave a magic wand and change the injury report between now and kickoff tomorrow. Personnel wise, that's who we got. That's what we got to go with, and those guys just got to say, "Damn it, I'm going to do it. It's not going to be me."
Got a special guest.
Yeah, we do have a guest here joining us.
Friend of the program.
Yeah.
An OG of the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you ask me.
Do we have it?
Here in a second.
And we almost have him.
Unc, I got a question for you as we wait for our special guest to arrive. As we're talking about how important stopping the quarterback run is tomorrow, Arizona State got a really good receiver too. Named Jordan Tyson. Coming back, missed the last 2 weeks. That's a really good player who they really cannot afford to let loose and single-handedly take over this game. What's the balance that you've seen in terms of the preparation of making sure that the quarterback run doesn't kill you, but also making sure that this really talented and dynamic receiver, doesn't take over the game?
Man, here's the hard part for the cornerbacks and the linebackers tomorrow. You got to be prepared to be bored. When you look at this quarterback and he's only passing around 50%,
Yeah.
well, of that 50%, about 70% of those completions going to one guy. But a lot of times you're just out there covering the guy and the ball is not even coming at all. And you can't get displaced and go like, "Oh, they're not throwing, they're just going to run. Let me try to cheat a little bit."
Right.
And that's when they go over the top on you.
Can't get lulled to sleep.
Yeah. You got to be comfortable being bored, man.
Right.
And don't blow your assignment because the ball hasn't been coming that way. Because the minute you do that is when it goes that way and it's over the top of you.
Yeah, because with DJ McKinney out, RJ Johnson out, they're going to be dependent on the Ivan Yates, obviously Preston Hodge, the Tayon Parks of the world. That's a tough challenge for those guys, but
and Scotty, I mean, the opponent gets the injury report too, and they see who's out.
Yep.
And just because they haven't been throwing the ball a lot doesn't mean they're not going to throw it when they see the injury report. So Don't get lulled to sleep. Do your job.
Facts.
All right, we ready?
Yes.
Bring him on.
There he is.
What's up, Mata?
What's up?
How you feeling, man? I mean, look, it's senior day this weekend. You're a senior. You're walking into your final game at Folsom Field. Just have you thought about that much at all? And just what are the emotions kind of coming into this game?
Man, no, it's been in the back of my mind ever since last season ended. Knowing that everything comes to an end and having all those mixed emotions of happy that I'm here, but also sad that it's over. But then stressed about what's next. Obviously, I'm just thankful about everything all the blessings that I've had here in Colorado and everything. But
you said
for sure.
Mata, good to see you, my boy. You said you're a little stressed about what's next, man. What are your plans? You just kind of taking it day by day, once this season, kind of ends.
Well, always plan A is always the league. Plan
Definitely.
B is any other league that wants to take me up. And then plan C, that's what I'm stressed about. Like, obviously, I'm going to graduate here with a great major from the University of Colorado. But, it's going to be my first time living life without a sport, so it's gonna be something new for sure.
Don't stress, bro. You got a great support system. You're gonna land on your feet. I know it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
What are kind of the like when you look back? Isn't it crazy to think that it feels like just yesterday, like you arrived in Boulder and now all of a sudden you're going out to your last game? When you look back on kind of your career in Boulder, what stands out to you as one of your favorite memories?
To be honest, I just go back to that TCU game.
Let's go.
Going back there, first game here. With everybody doubting us, everybody knowing that we're not going to do it, and proving the whole world wrong. It's probably one of the greatest moments as a team to establish that we're here and we mean business.
Hell yeah.
You have a question?
Well, I'll tell you this, Mata, are made up, and there's a 90% chance when you have a great mustache, you're going to be successful. So whatever you take from that, you got a great mustache, man.
Appreciate you. I've been growing it for like about 8 months, and this is all I got. So,
Yeah, I've seen the effort. Mata, let me go back because you're not just getting to do senior night here at CU. You got the OBs, the original buffs here that Coach Prime kind of inherited, but you also got the Louis luggage that he brought from Jackson State, and you came from Buford High School in Georgia. They got a wonderful new stadium that they don't have if Mata doesn't kick those game-winning championship field goals. You come to Jackson State, you decide to transfer, follow Coach Prime out here. Talk about that whole process and what he's poured into you as a person, not just a player, to help you be successful.
well, I've always considered Coach not only a football coach but a life mentor. He's been to where I want to be, and he's the type of man that I strive to be like, and also like having him and my dad in my life is honestly just a blessing. Just because I know they're both great, man. They're both obviously where I want to be, and just having the opportunity to learn from them on how to act as a man, as a brother, as a son, in a better way is definitely something I don't take for granted. I'm in the team meeting, taking notes every time. I'm in there learning something new every day. So honestly, I'm gonna miss it, but I'm gonna have Bucky's videos to look at on YouTube.
Mata, you remember what?
And for all those years, you literally sat right by him in the meetings.
Yep. I know he's gonna miss me. That's for sure.
Mata, you remember what happened last time you guys played ASU?
Oh, I remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, you've been thinking back to that kick at all and all the emotions about that one coming into this game?
The script is there. It's senior day. It's Arizona. It's at home. You just gotta make it happen.
I need a little dance when you hit one tomorrow, Mata. Something slight. Hey, but check it. Hey, but check it out. Obviously, this is your third year here at Colorado, and a lot of people have come and gone, right? Whether that be to the league, the transfer portal, other schools and whatnot. How cool is it to have a guy like JB who's been with you since Jackson State up until all part of this journey? Some coaches, obviously Coach Prime, Coach Pollock, some of those other guys. How cool is it to have had those few guys with you these last few years, going through battle, week in and week out?
It definitely made, like at first especially, it definitely made the transition a lot easier because the transition from high school to college, especially Buford to Jackson State, it was definitely a big one of the biggest ones in my life. But then transferring to Colorado with guys that I already knew, that I played for, that I played with, honestly just made the transition so much easier just because I didn't have to make new friends. I didn't have to make new relationships with my teammates. I didn't have to make relationships with the coaches. It was already there, So it definitely made it a lot easier and a lot smoother of a transition for sure.
Got anything else?
I'm good. Mata, we still got a couple weeks here, but we're gonna miss you. Don't be a stranger wherever you end up.
Yeah, of course not. Never, man.
We'll see you soon, man. You always got a spot on this show, so
Hey, Mata, we don't have
Appreciate
to
you.
we don't have to tell them the record, but we can point out that you and I are tied in the fantasy football league.
Yeah, not proud of that, to be honest.
Hey,
So,
not y'all both
We're
3 and
not
7.
going to say what the number is.
I'm not saying the number. I'm just saying I'm not proud of the number.
but we're not last.
We're not. We're not. That's that.
All right,
All right,
Motto.
Motto.
We appreciate it, man. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you and talk to you again real soon.
See you tomorrow, bro. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, there he goes. Man, last home game.
Yeah, that just kind of like made it set in for me.
Yeah.
Like senior day is always a emotional one.
Yeah.
Last game at Folsom of the year is always an emotional one. But this part of my CU fandom has been really cool. The Coach Prime era, because we've had a real chance to get to know some of these guys.
Yep.
Cam, obviously, like when we were talking to
It's our
him
guy,
after
man.
the Alamo Bowl last year, like that hit hard. But it's cool to have those relationships with those guys, and we like legitimately will miss them as friends.
Yes.
They grew up so fast, don't they?
They do.
That mustache, I was like, could he grow that mustache when we first met him? I don't think so.
All right. Let's take a break. Then we'll ask Unc a couple more questions and get to prime players and more.
Shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Taco Bell, man. Y'all need to go check out that new Cantina chicken menu at Taco Bell, man. It is so fire. If you know Bell, then you'll be at Taco Bell this weekend, man, because a new era of chicken has launched, man. This Cantina chicken menu has a new flavorful chicken. It's slow roasted. It's perfectly seasoned with those Mexican spices and additional premium ingredients like that shredded purple cabbage, the white corn tortilla shells, and that pico de gallo that's freshly prepared every day. You can try this with an amazing shredded chicken and a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, either in a burrito or maybe even in a quesadilla, however you like it. So get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell. And don't forget to add on that $7 Buffs box featuring 4 Taco Bell classics and a large drink in a CU Buff Player Collectible Cup. Taco Bell is a proud sponsor of CU Athletics, and they are donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored this season. There will be a few more tomorrow, I bet. Shout out to Taco Bell, man. Buffs love the bell.
And also shout out to our friends at Common Spirit Health. Busy time of year coming up, man. We got Thanksgiving a week from yesterday.
Yeah. 6 days.
Damn.
Bro.
There's a lot going on. Black Friday, Christmas shopping, all the emotions and feelings that come with that. Use this as a reminder. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. This is the time of year we kind of let those things, slip through the cracks. Don't let that happen to y'all. Athletes, weekend warriors, those dealing with nagging injuries as well. Common Spirit Health is known for their sports medicine, treatment, and prevention of injuries, including their work with the Denver Broncos, the mighty Denver Broncos players, 9-2 Denver Broncos. But yeah, Common Spirit's got you covered, man. They're all over the state of Colorado with their healthcare clinics and hospitals. And don't let an injury keep you on the bench, or even better, get proactive about your health. For more info, visit mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the mighty 9-2, first place, best team in the NFL, God tier, NFL, Denver Broncos.
You said what tier?
God tier.
There's something wrong with you, bro.
What's wrong with me? That's the truth.
I'm surrounded by these Broncos fans, man. They feeling themselves like, and I mean, rightfully so. They up right now, but they feeling themselves like crazy.
Man, I want for my brother what I want for myself, so I'm happy for him.
Likewise.
Who better than these guys?
That's real,
Thank
man.
you.
But they are becoming a little bit irritating.
Thank you.
Y'all got to see firsthand how I act when I'm up after I've been down for too long last year. And now I've got people coming after me like, oh, where's all the shit talk from like you had last year about the Buffs? And I'm like, that's not how it works. You don't get to talk shit when you're losing.
Right.
Like now you guys get to talk shit to me. That's how this works. That's the exchange that's happening here. But not with the Broncos. I still get to talk shit to somebody.
Absolutely. Facts.
We got your when I say we, I mean my Cowboys that you guys manhandled. We got your Chiefs, enemy Chiefs coming in AT&T Stadium, Jerry World on Thanksgiving. So we'll put them
Ooh.
further behind y'all just for you.
Cowboys
that.
Chiefs on Thanksgiving. That's
I
gonna be
can't
fire.
wait to bet on the Cowboys in that
Is
game.
that a little too on the nose?
What?
What?
Cowboys Chiefs on Thanksgiving.
Somebody did that on purpose.
That's a lot of Americana to it, doesn't it?
That's a little too close to home, I think.
Oh man, that is wild.
Jeez. Oh boy.
Bears play on Black Friday.
What does that say?
Just pointing that out. I just found that out today. I was like, hey, I saw a commercial. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's get a primetime game.
I'm happy for you, Scotty.
Thanks.
Any thoughts on whether or not we're going to see Jordan Seaton out there tomorrow?
I don't know. He certainly eyeball test for me is moving better. Here's the thing about Jordan, man. His personality and spirits are always so high. Like you don't know because like he doesn't mope. He's just always in a good mood, good spirit. Always engaged. And so I do think that whereas I do not know for sure, for certain, for a player in general, in particular, a player for his caliber, the future is more important than the next two. And so it's
Right.
not something you want to risk aggravating and let him heal completely. So I don't know, man. But if you just based it on how he carries himself, he looks like he's always going to play because his attitude is never, down.
Just kind of more overarching, just because it's a big topic right now, just the roster and the team building, and coach has been kind of candid about it, especially, when he was talking about the portal. I can't remember if it was last week or this week, but he flat out said, we just did some things we shouldn't have done. We just missed on some guys, and there's a lot of tension, obviously, in the fan base right now, but there's a big portal cycle coming up here, about a month and a half, I guess, but signing day is also 2 months or 2 weeks away. What would you say to those who are feeling like the program is not in the best place when it comes to recruiting right now?
Man, I would go back to the classic Aaron Rodgers quote of RELAX. I can remember the angst after being 9-3. So it's fans are going to fan, and fans have the right to do that. Not knocking them. They help the pendulum swing whichever direction it's going to swing. But you better believe that you don't have a higher standard for this program or the ability to be more pissed off about not living up to expectations than Coach Prime Deion Sanders. And that is thereby pressed to the staff. And, as he has indicated, whether he said it straight out or, people decipher the Prime Riddle talk, he feels that we did miss on some people, that there's some folks that we thought we were going to be able to count on and we couldn't. And he rightly so does that without mentioning names. But anybody who just goes through the stat sheet post game or goes through the season and see the lack of evolution and changes as far as people moving up to leaders of dogs. You had none of that this year.
Yep.
And so I think there was a lack of leadership and spirit in this team that past teams didn't have. And that's something that he's going to make sure going into this cycle that doesn't happen again. And I think one of the beauties of that, guys, that's going to help us, if I could parlay it off telling everybody just relax and be cool, not having a spring portal to deal with again helps this team. It helps this team become more of a team.
Yep.
Because in the past, you get all these guys here in January, and the three guys on hosting this show with me, co-hosting with me, they know I don't count it until you go to class or go to practice. Because we live in a world where people change their minds and they got the right to. But once you step on campus and go to practice or go to class or get some benefit from university, now you're above. Well, it used to be that could happen in December, and one of those very people you celebrate held it on in May or June. Now you got a system where when you get ready to go to spring ball, spring practice at the beginning of March, and you get up there around spring break and before the spring game, you're looking at your team for August and September. Pretty much. Might have a grad student here or there or something like that, but pretty much you're set. that constant re-recruitment, that constant trying to make sure you get it right. Because let's be honest, man. I love the portal. God bless freedom of choice, but it's also like used car market, buyer beware.
Yes,
Yep.
it
If
is.
you don't have a true Carfax, the more you pick, the more you're gonna miss. The
Yep.
more you can just narrow this thing down and go after what you need and who they are and what they bring to the table, the more likely you're gonna get it right on that person. And Coach Prime is determined to get it way more right this time than he got wrong last time.
Well, to build off that, the staff too. I mean, he's kind of mentioned, the same changes. Obviously, he's made the play caller change as well. He's mentioned just kind of shaking up everything. I mean, I don't know really what to ask. I mean, what can we expect, I guess, just moving forward with those changes that'll be coming above the roster?
I think you can expect changes. I think you should expect changes, and I think you should expect that there are no sacred cows. I think everything is on the table. Coach Prime is not just about winning; he's about dominating. And it's one thing for us to not win this season, but further away from dominance we went. And he is about both. It's not just winning games; it's about dominating those games. And I saw him win at Jackson State and make significant changes in the staff during the offseason. One of the things that happens, when you're a fan, you kind of see things and you're crying for it to happen now. But from a coach standpoint, a general manager turning the whole ship, just the whole lay of the land, 30,000-foot view, that there's some changes don't make sense to make right now because it's not like it moves the ball further.
Right.
And so I think that between the official end of the season, and the start of classes, in January, I think you're going to see some changes, whether it's people moving around or bringing new people in, because he is not going to let happen in 2026 what happened in 2025.
Unc, why do you think that, you know, and this is something we talked about yesterday, so I just want your perspective on it. But clearly the portal first strategy didn't work this year. Why do you think, in your eyes, they're going back to the strategy and changing, I guess, maybe some of the approach to the strategy rather than changing the strategy entirely?
Because I don't think, excellent question. From an internal standpoint, where I see things, and this is not a paraphrasing of something I heard from Coach Prime. This is literally me reading the tea leaves. I didn't see that it was the strategy that was the bugaboo or to let us down. It was the deep dive evaluation of talent and can this person help us, and do they fit what we already have in the locker room. It's one thing to bring in a player who can play. I don't know if y'all had this where y'all were growing up as kids, man, but back in Jackson Public Schools in elementary, first through third grade, we had a significant box down there under reading, under math, under history. Does he
Conduct?
play well with others?
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got to get back to evaluating, does this person play well with others? And I think that you have a strategy of portal and the strategy works, but sometimes you just look at the eye candy of talent and not evaluate, does this guy fit in a room and does he fit in our current room? And I think that's what Coach Prime is going to explore differently.
I mean, yeah, even further for me, 30,000-foot view, that's what it came down to. Just you had a lot of personalities that didn't really work out. And it was more so the behind the scenes, just, really the team meshing. Like, this was a big talking point the last 2 years. And of course, we didn't really talk about it as much this year, just because, Coach was, sick. There's just so much going on this offseason. So, but that's what it really seemed like.
I got to agree with you, Jake. You bring in guys through the transfer portal, right? And they're dogs or they're leaders, or at least that potentially. But because they're looking around the room at people who've been here longer than they have, they're kind of waiting on somebody to say something first.
Yeah.
Because who am I as the new guy to say something right now? And it probably took to about week 4, 5 even, before you had new guys saying something. And I think that's one of the reasons why this one portal is going to help this organization, is that by the time you really get to summer 1, summer 2, these guys have been around each other all spring with not too many new pieces coming in or a lot of pieces going out. So I am comfortable pushing Scotty, and Scotty is comfortable pushing me. And now we got a room of Cameron Silman Craigs versus a room of quiet guys.
Yeah. And I really do think if you can manage to keep together the core of this team, Juju, JoJo, Jordan, Omarion,
London,
Tawfiq, Alex, like those guys are going to have so much more. And Jordan definitely had it this year, but like as a group have license to lead this team. It really does mean something to have your quarterback be a returning player who understands the expectations and can kind of push that forward and hopefully has 3 really good games under his belt to show for. So I think it could go a long way for this team just to have the core in place going into the offseason.
I think Uncle Chu.
I agree, Scotty. I mean, I agree, Arcade, that you look at just from top to bottom, from Georgia Tech to now, and the 4 or 5 guys that stand out in front of the stretch lines, the warm up lines, pregame. I don't think there's a team in America that just had all specialists up there.
And that's what I was going to say. Uncle, you mentioned it earlier. You were like, when the leaders and dogs this year, you kind of saw evidence of some of those misses in the portal. I think there were 5 that had an L or D on their jersey this year, and 2 of them were specialists, I think. And that kind of speaks to or illuminates the point of some of these misses that we're talking about. And I think it's what we talked about earlier in the week. Like, I think there's a lot of misplaced anger where people are like, we got to stop recruiting the transfer portal. And that's just, no. You got to limit the misses. You got to have fewer misses. And I think that's what happened this year because, again, we've seen the transfer portal strategy work at this program and at other programs that are currently in college football playoff contention. So I think it's more about learning from your misses and limiting them in 2026 and beyond as opposed to just abandoning this transfer portal kind of way to go about it because the transfer portal not going anywhere. Even though it's going down to one portal, the best teams are still going to utilize the transfer portal to get some of the best players on their roster in the building.
Well said. And Scotty, this analogy I'm going to give to you, I don't mean it physically. I mean it with questions and asking this about people who know them and really deep diving in their backgrounds. It's one thing to buy a used car and not test drive it. It's another thing to buy a used car and only test drive it in the city streets. You got to get that thing up on the interstate and put the pedal down, man.
Facts.
Like what happens when this car goes fast? Because we're not going to always be driving 30 miles per hour, going to the grocery store. At some point, we're going to be doing 75 because we got to get somewhere. And, I didn't test drive it. I didn't realize the steering wheel rattles once you cross 60. And so you got to do deeper than just film, deeper than just talking to a mom or uncle. Some follow up with coaches, follow up with people who grew up with them. Like, what kind of person is this? Name some times there was some adversity and they were able to overcome it. I think those are the kind of areas we missed in, not from a talent standpoint and not from a portal standpoint, but just does it fit with tough, smart, fast, disciplined character and the people that we already have here?
No way.
Way to go, Scotty.
I didn't do that.
That's a great omen.
That was some wind or something. I don't know.
Great omen.
All right, well, let's take our last break. And Scotty can or someone can fix the set real quick.
I'll get it, Scotty.
Shout out to the homies over at Dick's Sporting Goods, man. The place to go for whatever season you're going into or getting ready for. It's winter. We're into indoor, all that stuff, but it's a great time with Black Friday coming up, Christmas coming up to get ready for next football season, for golf season, all that stuff. They also got you covered with the hottest apparel and footwear with brands from Nike, Adidas Originals, FP Movement, Cali, DNVR, and much more. We'll get you some DNVR gear over at Dick's as well. If you found a lower price as well, they'll match it with their best price guarantee. You can get free curbside pickup at your nearest store or easy shipping from Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
Shout out to Dick's and shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Toyota, man. Y'all already know that Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR and that trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, Toyota has built these durable legends that are just destined for greatness and just perfect for the beautiful state of Colorado. Toyota has 17 different models with available all-wheel drive or full four-wheel drive like that epic 4Runner, and there are 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from like that Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. So visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics. Shout out to Toyota, man.
The first show, I don't know. I think it was me, Henry, and Dev from the Nuggets show.
Yeah.
The first show we ever had a sign from Saturday Neon. We like jerry rigged putting it on the wall back here, and in the middle of the show, it just fell off, hit the shelf, and then like fell, and somehow Dev literally caught it behind his head.
That's fire. What an athlete.
Because it was the old studio, which the chairs were a little closer back there. And that's what that just reminded me of.
Shout out Dev, legend. All right, let's do prime players. Final thoughts, super chats, and get out of here. Who wants to start? Offensive prime players, defensive. Where do we want to start?
I'll start.
I'll start because I went with Scotty's evil twin on offense.
Nice.
My dog. I ain't gonna lie. I don't feel too good about y'all picking my boy, man. I don't know. I feel some type of way when y'all pick my boy and I don't pick him. But I like it nonetheless.
You know, it's one of those things, man, where I say again, in the history of us doing these picks, based on football logic, I hope we're all right. Because the people we pick and the reason we pick them, if it happens, we win.
100%.
I just love, Scotty, the chemistry that is continuing to develop between QB1 and JoJo. I love his confidence. I love what I see in Coach Phillips pointing out the little things at practice, and then the next rep, without having to repeat it again, JoJo still does it, and so it's sticking. And at some point, once again, that's going to translate to a big moment in the game. Why not the final game, senior night, Folsom Field?
I mean, I picked JoJo just because I felt guilty picking Omarion again.
Nice.
But also, you know, football reasons too. I mean, I think that Arizona State and almost everyone else is going to start thinking the same way. We got to eliminate 4 from the game.
Right.
So I think it's just a matter of time before JoJo has a big game because of that. So, and as Unc said, I mean, you know, Julian's just going to get better with these guys as well. So.
Unc, I thought one of the funniest parts of the presser, Coach Prime's presser on Tuesday, was when I think JoJo was one of the students of the week, if I'm not mistaken, and Coach Prime mentioned that he was like, yeah, JoJo, one of those guys I just got to keep my hand on his throat. He was like, I love him, though. But I feel like JoJo, he needs a Jason Phillips type position coach, you know what I'm saying, who gonna give him the real and make sure that he's maturing as a man just as much as he is a football player. But y'all
It's
already
like
know.
me with you, Scott.
Yeah, we need guys like that, you know.
I was about to say, it's like, you know, you got that dog, and I'm talking about this ain't something from the pound. This is purebred. You got papers on it.
Facts.
But he still will go, squirrel.
Right.
You got to be able to.
Oh, facts.
I love it. Hey, well, someone's got to get him the ball, right? Yeah. So I'm picking my boy.
At what point, bro?
Right.
At what point?
What are we doing here?
No, what do you mean? What do you mean? At what point is his second ever game?
I feel like
Crazy. By the way, he was my number 1 overall pick in the My Guys draft, so I'm riding this. Yeah, I got Julian.
I got you see it on the screen right there. I got Zach Atkins, man. Over the last 2 games, Zach Atkins has 8 catches, which is his most in a 2-game stretch as a Colorado Buffalo. You heard Coach Prime this week when I asked him about what's the key to first down. After he said being creative, he went on to highlight how talented Zach Atkins is. He says that he believes he has pro ability. And now with the tight ends coach now calling plays and Brett Bartolone now for his 3rd game with his team, I think we're going to see Zach Atkins even more involved. I think Zach is going to catch his first touchdown as a Buffalo on Saturday. Give me Zach.
Love that.
Defense. I'll go first. I went Preston Hodge again.
Ballin'.
I think other than Tawfiq Bayard, he's the defensive player playing the best right now for this football team.
Leads the conference in PBUs this season.
I mean, that stat blew my mind a couple weeks ago when I realized all of a sudden he's up to 12 because it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 in the span of 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep, exactly right.
But yeah, he's been playing well. I don't know really what the plan is for defending Jordan Tyson and Shimon Mateer and all these weapons they have. Everyone's going to get tested, but I think Preston's going to be the one to make a play on the football and potentially cause a game-changing play.
I love that. Who you got, Unc?
You know, man, I had to wrestle with this one because I almost went with Tawfiq Byard. And the reason I almost went with him is because when I looked at the impact and the way the defense changed in the second half when he was able to play, it just became a totally different statistical defense in the secondary. Maybe not because of what he did, but because of what he was able to influence. But then I said, man, last game, Folsom Field, I got to go with a legacy buff that's going to be out there, man. Give me Arden Walker, to do the damn thing. I want to go with Jeremiah Brown too with senior night, but I think Arden, man, is Chip is still a back on the shoulder and bigger and wants to apply some pressure back there. I love him coming off the edge for Hilo. I went with Arden.
I love it. I went with the same guy, and for the same reasons. Senior day, Colorado kid, legacy buff, Hall of Fame weekend, all of that stuff. I'm feeling the vibes for a big Arden game, and I'll just jump right into my dark horse.
Can I do my defense?
Oh, did you?
No.
My
You
bad.
good. But I kind of had a similar thinking, right? I'm going with Jeremiah Brown, a guy who's playing his last game at Folsom Field. Jeremiah Brown on Wednesday gave us the keys to the game, according to Coach Prime. And they were 1, stop the run, 2, be physical, 3, be relentless. And Jeremiah Brown he just described the linebacker position. And it certainly describes Jeremiah Brown since he has become a focal point of this Colorado defense. Jeff Sims going to be running that ball, and he must be contacted.
Yes.
He must feel some hits. And I think Jeremiah Brown is going to be one of the dudes to take that personally and put some pads on folks. So give me JB.
You can go first.
You sure? For my dark horse, I went with John Slaughter at safety. Had an interception, had 8 tackles last time we saw him as well. 7 total tackles and a pick last time we saw him playing a game against West Virginia. No Ben Finnesseth tomorrow. Carter Stoutmeyer is doubtful, so it's looking like it's going to be a lot of Tawfiq Byard and John Slaughter. And it seems like Slaughter is kind of getting his feet underneath him in this system under Robert Livingston. So give me John Slaughter with a big play. He's my dark horse.
Slaughterhouse. Love it.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I'm taking Zach Atkins.
Love it.
I didn't have the balls to make him my offensive player of the game like you did, but it's all the same reasons. I really do think that one of the keys to first down in this game is just like Zach Atkins taking 3 steps forward and turning around.
Real spill.
Yep.
And breaking a tackle. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Juju just putting it on him and letting him go. It's one of the things that, especially if you watch teams with good tight ends, it feels like a cheat code. You just get right underneath the zone.
Yep.
Sit down, and
it's an easy
give
throw
yourself
for your quarterback.
3 yards with the easy throw for your quarterback. So I think he could have upwards of that 8-catch 2-game stretch. I think he could have it tomorrow.
Definitely.
Go ahead out.
Dog, when I tell you, amen, to you and Scotty, because the same reasons that Scotty went offensive, the same reason he went sleeper is exactly for me. Because I think me and Scotty are pretty tight, right? And if Scotty gets a promotion and doesn't try to get Neely the damn ball, Neely's going to be pretty mad at Scotty.
Sure would.
So I got to figure Brett's going to try to get Zach the ball at some point.
Facts.
And when I see what a tight end who has the football IQ to not only find the green grass, but has the discipline to sit there and not move away from it, that only helps Juju, and I think Juju is going to find him, and I think Zach then has the ability to turn upfield and go. I'm going with Zach / any tight end for my sleeper.
Hell yeah. I like that. Rounding it all up, I took Cam Michael.
Cam.
It's a matter of time, bro. It's a matter of time. He's got to make an impact at some point. It's just I can't imagine what it's like for him, how frustrated he is, having like 1 or 2 plays every game basically, and he can't really get it going. I hope that this is the week, man. He deserves it, and he could be that speed could be absolutely game-changing for this offense. I mean, you talk about making an easy throw and getting a big play out of it. I mean, what better player than Cam Michael just dumping it down to him and exactly. Just hit that gear and go. So it's a bit of wish casting, but
I like it.
It is a matter of time for Cam Michael.
It really
I believe
is.
that.
It really is.
You love to use prime players to manifest.
Yeah, I do.
RK, I was about to say that, and I know that you got lovers and haters out there, and the haters always got something to say. But one thing you could never argue with about this panel, and that is the logic in which we pick who we pick.
Facts.
Real spill.
I mean, I legit spend time thinking about this.
Every week.
Have to.
Me too. But enough time to just do whatever my gut feeling says.
Exactly. It's like picking, making picks on the show yesterday.
Exactly.
By the way, are we changing any picks?
Oh, yes. I want to remove the hammer from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And it's because Missouri is getting their quarterback back.
Yep.
Which we did not know when we made those picks. I'll leave my pick as
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Let me just see here really quick. I gotta find our text so I can look at the other games that we picked.
Just go ahead, hammer BYU, broski.
Is that who you hammered?
Nah.
No. I hammered Utah. Scotty hammered SMU. You took SMU at home, Oklahoma at home, Oregon at home, Arizona at home, TCU, BYU on the road, Utah, and Colorado at home.
Scotty had me right. let me hammer BYU.
Hell yeah.
All right. Scotty, we making changes?
I want to hammer a Coors Light.
No,
Yeah.
for real.
It's that time.
Friday at 4, which is the new Friday at 5.
Yes,
I mean-
Cornholy. Prabula is back.
Hey, before you go to Supers there, Jake, speaking of Coors Light, do y'all remember that funny moment on the killer bus ride when we tried to tee up a shout out of the sponsor for Coach Pollard and he just totally fumbled it?
Yes. Yes.
That man's hilarious.
Yeah.
What was that? I think that was this trip from a year ago.
Kansas.
It was Kansas.
Yeah,
A year ago, this weekend was Kansas.
Right.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that was D-Way to LeBron, and he found a way to kick it out of bounds. Dude just
Could lead a horse to water.
Shout out to our guy at Jack Stack, though. One of the most ridiculous meals I've ever had that weekend.
Real spill.
Yeah,
That was glorious.
Reese, I think.
Reese, yeah.
Glorious.
I think that was my first ever meat sweats.
Proud of you.
I didn't know meat sweats was a real thing until then.
That's one of the first times in my life I've ever finished appetizers and gone, well, I'm already full.
That was the first time I've seen some food that was coming to my table, and I was like,
yeah.
Please stop.
that was the first time I've ever done that. And again, not because it wasn't good, because it was all fire, but yeah, after the fourth, fifth appetizer and the first and second entree, you like, I think I done had enough.
I don't think I ate for 24 hours after that.
Pretty much.
We had the bus smelling like meat. Pause. Days after.
Alyssa would probably say it always smelled like that.
Oh, man, wherever he is, however he's doing, I'm just thinking of Kenny Highways right now. Godspeed,
real.
brother.
He's out on the road, bro. There's only one way he knows.
Probably. All right, we got a couple of super chats. Let's hit those and get out of here. Evan Zeman, what's up, man? If Juju goes off with Shador versus TCU type numbers, does that turn heads for high school recruits and players entering the portal? Do we see a change in course? I think if Colorado wins this game, I don't care what the stats are, you'll see that change.
Yeah, I mean,
Hell yeah.
the stats will matter. Like, I guess just the optics of it will matter.
Sure.
But I really do think it's an important part of the story for Julian to go out there and continue to look as good as he looked against West Virginia, if not better.
Yep. Because, also, too, a lot of people last week or a couple weeks ago, West Virginia, when Juju played really well in the first start, there were a lot of those trolls, those haters like, it's West Virginia. Well, what are they going to say after tomorrow against a top 25 team?
In his
against a
second
really
start.
good defense in his second start.
Because the thing is, Scotty, I look at it the other way than the haters saying it was West Virginia. Look how easy, fluid, and effortless he made 299 and 2 TDs look.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It would have been 300 if Draylen just lowered his shoulder.
Yep. Now, let's not forget that that same West Virginia team took Arizona State right down to the wire last week.
Facts.
So,
Don Peasy, what's up?
easy.
Big homie Bartolone and
Ju Ju.
Juju Could be magical if he is retained to install his offense next year. Oh, by the way, I'll be at Allegiant Sunday with my wrists up. Let's go, Don Peasy. Represent, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you, man.
Oh, man. We need that one, man.
How turned up are you
Yeah.
for Sunday at about 2:25, Unc?
I'm gonna be watching naked.
Oh, my God, bro.
Oh, boy.
Watching Shador with your
That-
out is crazy.
No.
That is insane. I ain't gonna lie, Unc.
Everything is out. See, a lot of people wait till stuff gets going to get naked. I'm gonna be naked at coin toss.
Oh my Lord Jesus. I'm glad I asked.
It's an experience.
Oh my God.
boy. Well,
it experienced
Let's end the show.
On that note, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Tailgate 3 hours before the game.
Pull up.
Benson Field, we'll see y'all there. Same drill as last home game. It's going to be a little bit after we're hit triple zeros in the fourth quarter, but shortly after the game, about half hour or so, we'll be live for post game. We appreciate you. Thanks again. Shout out to Alejandro Mata for coming on the show, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
JB sent his regards. He couldn't make it, but I will be clothed for the post game.
We all appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Love, Unc.
Bro, Squad.
We all silly like the mayor.